a roll call, please?
Baronis,
Present.
Bolin,
Present.
Gathing,
Present.
Lopez,
Present.
Verret,
Present.
Williams, Yancey Smith,
Present.
7 present, we have a quorum. Would you join me in standing and saying the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag Thank you very much. Okay, we'll move right into the superintendent's report, and we have lots of good news to talk about, but we'll talk about the formal good news first, okay?
Okay, good evening, everyone. Tonight, we have 3 items of good news. First, the district would like to thank everyone who generously donated in support of those who suffered damage and lost everything in the storms, the tornadoes on March 10th. Your kindness and your willingness to donate is greatly appreciated. The junior high school would like to recognize Josiah Berea, who finished 2nd place in the IESA Wrestling Championship in Northern Illinois University on March 14th. We are very proud of both Josiah and his coaching staff. And finally, Kankakee High School would like to thank Let's Catch Up for their care closet donation to Kankakee School District 111. And those are our good news items for the evening.
Thank you very much. Dr. Lance, you have the Let Your Shine.
Yes. So students deservingly get recognized for their accomplishments academically and athletically. Perhaps the greatest and most overlooked recognition, however, is that of the role model. The role model shines a light by living authentically and positively, serving as a beacon that guides, inspires, and elevates those around them. The Let Your Light Shine Award celebrates these role models who embody the spirit of hope, kindness, and positive influence in their school and communities. Their light inspires others to follow their example. This year's Let Your Light Shine recipient are, we'll do one at a time, so is Royce Cephas. Royce, will you come up? Woo. Come on up, Royce. And then, is your family here? Okay. All right. You want to, so Royce is getting a check, hey, for $500. But we also have 2 teachers that want to talk about you. Oh, she's like, that's not my check. Okay.
Let's try that.
All right. Please. Want to take a picture?
You want her to go? You can go. Okay.
I'm so little, I need y'all to see me. And not to embarrass Royce anymore, we want to teach Ms. Grabo to speak about Royce.
Hello, my name is Holly Grabo, and I teach English at KJHS. I'm here today because I had the privilege of having Royce Cephas in my English classroom last school year. When I first read the email about nominating a student for the Let Your Light Shine Award, I didn't have to look through a grade book to find my nominee. Royce automatically popped into my mind. Most of us remember the transition into 7th grade as a bit of a whirlwind, but for Royce, it was an even bigger leap. She transitioned from a homeschool environment into a junior high classroom, and she didn't just get through it, she completely thrived. It takes immense courage to step into a world like that, but she did it with a quiet confidence. In the classroom, Royce is a definition of a hard worker, but more importantly, she has the rarest quality of all, humility. She doesn't just turn in an assignment and walk away. She asks for feedback, she listens. She isn't afraid to redo because she cares more about learning and the process of learning than a quick grade. Whether she is dominating on the athletic field or navigating the hallways, her character never wavers. She is respectful to every single adult she meets. But what strikes me the most is her heart for her peers. In a world where middle school can sometimes be exclusive and mean, Royce is kind to everyone, and I witnessed it every single day in the hallways and in my classroom. She doesn't just pick and choose who deserves her kindness, she shares it with every single person she comes across. To top off an already incredible 8th grade year, she has done something most adults and myself dream of. She became a published author. Royce, I can't wait to follow you through your high school journey and beyond. Your light doesn't just shine, it illuminates the path for your peers, adults, and everyone to follow. Continue to grow, continue on working to be the best version of yourself, and keep shining your light. Congrats and well-deserved, Royce.
So this was a tough competition. So the organization Illuminate, they give us $1,000, but we had a tie. So the other student that we want to recognize tonight is Emery Hamilton. Emery. Emery, I like Cracker Barrel. Emery also gets a check for $500. Stay right here, Emery. Dad, you coming in? You coming in? Sweet.
Hello, my name is Jamie Hamilton. I'm a fifth and sixth grade teacher at LCC. My son Emery, when I seen the Let Your Light Shine, I nominated my own child. I did have him 2 years in class. He is a great student. He works very hard. He's also very kind. He gets along with everybody. He's in all kinds of sports. He's in football, he's in wrestling, he's trying track right now, he's also in band, and he's also the president of the NAACP Youth Council. So Emery, and a little plug to them, they got to go to North Carolina this summer, and they got to go to a youth conference, and at that conference, they also, I don't know if they wrote it there, but they wrote a grant for little libraries. So they were awarded $25,000 for little libraries in our community for Kankakee to put around the community. I've been teaching for many, many years, and there's a million students I could pick from, but it's like your heart having your own child. And believe me, we had our battles. He probably got in more trouble those 2 years he was sitting in my room than he's ever gotten in trouble. But he is just a great kid overall, and he wants to be a civil engineer, and I know he will make his dreams come true.
So Royce and Emery, on behalf of Illuminate and the Board of Education, thank you for all that you do for your school and your community. Congratulations on this well-earned award. May your light continue to inspire and uplift others. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Royce and Emery. Tonight, I have an update for you of the progress of our two schools in need of intensive support, our junior high school and Edison School. And I want to start by thanking both Dr. Alexander and Mr. Kuster for putting this data and these slides together. Thank you. Okay. This year, all of our schools had the same goals so that we were in alignment and had coherence to Dr. Lance's goals. One of our goals was an academic goal, and we had an ELA and a math goal. We also had an attendance goal. For our academic goal, in addition to an IAR growth goal, an IAR proficiency goal, we had a growth goal on STAR to have a minimum growth rating of 0.20 or higher on the STAR reading assessment. On the screen, you can see where Edison fell this year as of the winter. We still have time to go, but Edison is at 0.13 gains overall in ELA, which is on their way to that 0.20. Particularly excelling was the third grade at 0.30, and that's blue for exceeding expectations. We want to be at a 0.20 or above because that's where we really begin to close any gaps, and the third grade is at 0.30. So we're looking forward to the end of the year to see where our data lies. And here is Edison's math scores. In math, Edison is at a minus 0.12, so there's some growth to make there, and you can see the other grade levels as well. So Edison has a lot of things in place that they're working to build and to get above that 0.20. One strategy they're using is they're working with Zaretta Hammond and PLCs. They're also focusing on teacher clarity and implementing that along with some of their own look force. In terms of attendance, Edison's goal was to have less than 20% of students chronically absent. And right now, as of March 5th, when this data was gathered, they had 22% of students who had missed 13 or more days of school. So I know before the end of the year that Edison will get that number down to below 20% to meet their goal. Okay. As for our junior high school, the junior high school in math had 9% of students meet benchmark in the fall and 19% meet benchmark in the winter. So that's a 10% gain. In ELA, the junior high had 16% meeting benchmark in the fall and then 34% meeting benchmark at the middle of the year. Strategies that the junior high is using are meeting with Teach Plus and PLCs, also closely examining their ECRIS data to pinpoint areas of need and deliver support, whether it be during twilight, CBEO, or stations in the classroom. The junior high is also working to reduce its chronic absenteeism. In August was 50% and in February 40%. Although that's a 10% reduction, the junior high is, oh, thank you. There we go. Although that's a 10% reduction, the junior high is still actively working to reduce that to get below that 20%. Some strategies that they're using is collaborating in triangle teams, having incentives, and then sending home BAG reports. BAG stands for Behavior, Attendance, and Grades. And they're reporting that to students during CBEO in mailing that to parents. So we'll get there. Together, we will rise and meet our goal. Another way that we are working to support our students is through summer school. We are busily working to get summer school in place for 2026. Right now, we are accepting applications for summer school for teachers, and we're also taking requests for summer school for families. That request will be open to April 13th, so we encourage all families to get signed up to attend summer school. This year, our summer school will begin on June 15th. This is revised slightly due to the calendar from the no school days due to the storm. And we will offer accelerated options for our high school students who would like to get ahead on some of their credits. We will offer financial literacy, American government, and health. Additionally, today was the first day of our IAR testing, and a big thank you to all of our teachers and administrators, not only for the work that you're doing all year, but also for all of your efforts with test preparation and test administration. I'm proud to say that today, all of our teams did very well, and it was a smooth day for testing. We're looking forward to sharing our results with you this summer. And this concludes our instructional programs update. Are there any questions?
Any board members have any questions?
Just a quick, I think I might have missed this for summer school for families. There's going to be something sent out to register for summer
Yes.
school?
Yes, there is. We've advertised it on Facebook. There's a form to sign up. We've also sent it through Parent Square, and buildings will be pushing it out as well as talking to families during parent-teacher conferences.
Now, students that teachers feel in this are identified, will those students be encouraged?
Yes,
families?
they will be getting a letter in the mail encouraging them, and the teachers will be following up at parent-teacher conferences as well.
All right, so those identified will get those.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions from board members? Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Jenny.
Okay, Student Services and Diverse Programs, Dr. Gonzalez.
Buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes.
Good evening, Board, Superintendent Lance, colegas and community. This evening's report is an update on our district strategic plan. In a few minutes, I will be passing it over to our strategic planning partners at Performance Vact, but I did want to give us a high-level overview of the work done thus far. This is the team. And so we have quite a few spinning plates going on at once. So I just wanted to take a moment to recognize and express gratitude for everyone who has been serving on the teams. If you're in the audience, raise your hand if you are serving on the core planning team. Raise them high. And our board president has also been diligently serving on the core planning team. This is the team that is comprised of every cross-section that you can think of, parents, community members, students, district leaders, teachers, pretty much anyone who's a member of the district community is serving on the core planning team. Raise your hand if you are serving on the instructional focus team. So this is the educator team. So this is the team that is composed of paraprofessionals, administrators, school leaders, district level leaders, social workers, librarians, instructional coaches. So this is the educator team. And this is our student voice team. So this is composed of students in grades 7th through 12th grade. And they come and they also provide us with their input on what they would like to see for our district to best prepare them for college and career. And this is the alignment team, so raise your hand if you are serving on the alignment team. We have two esteemed board members serving on the team. And so these are known as the movers and shakers of the community. So these are the people with the influence throughout Kankakee, the city of Kankakee, and we're very honored and privileged to have them be a part of our strategic planning effort. So that's the crew. Just a quick snapshot. Think of this as waves. So first wave was in January. Anything in the green, these are meetings that have already successfully taken place. You can see in the red, we had a district leadership team session that had to be postponed. It was on the day when we had e-learning due to cold weather temperatures. You can see that February was our second wave of meetings, and we were able to accomplish all of the meetings that were on the calendar. March has been the beginning of our third wave of meetings, and we had to postpone our district leadership and our principal team meeting due to the storm. Those have been rescheduled for April, and we look forward to providing you with an update on the conclusion of the third round of meetings as we start ramping up for our final round of meetings. Performance Fact will speak a little more to this, but some of the outcomes so far, we have engaged in data analysis, analyzing the data, our student outcomes data throughout the district. We have engaged in drafting a portrait of a graduate. What are the characteristics that we want to see from a Kankakee student when they graduate high school? We have started drafting goals and measures to help us know how our students are doing and how we progress monitor this. What's next? We will be meeting in April, we will be meeting with our district leadership team and our school administrators, and we will be drafting our theory of action. Think of a theory of action as a roadmap of cause and effect. So we're going to come together and say we believe that if we commit to executing on a core set of actions, that the consequence will be X, Y, and Z for our school teams, and most importantly, student outcomes. So that's a very important conversation and discussion for all of us to align on, and we're really excited to dig deep into moving into the theory of action work for our strategic plan. Our final community forum is taking place April 15th from 6 to 7:30. So if you can all help us spread the word and make that final push. It's tentatively scheduled right now in the community room, but Becca is working on securing a location, possibly in the community, possibly the library. So we will keep you abreast of any changes in location. But the most important thing here to remember is April 15th from 6 to 7:30 is our third and final community forum. So please come out and share your voice. Any questions before I pass it over to our partners at Performance Fact?
I don't have a question. I was at the last community forum, and I will say I was a little upset with the presence. There was only 3 community members. So as a board member, my call to our community is to come to that community forum, because your voice and what you think our students need to have and be when they leave our district is important to you as a community. They're your students. They're coming back to your community, and this is your opportunity to show up and actually use your voice and express what you think our students need to look at. So if you are look like when they leave. So if you are available on April 15th from 6 to 7:30, it's an hour and a half of your time. I go to sporting events and there's plenty of people there. So I do ask, if you can, please come. We're asking for your input. We're not just putting it out there just for a song and dance. We actually want your input. We want to know what you want our students to accomplish and be productive citizens in our community. So that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Berrones. Yes, we are ready for Performance Fact.
Performance Fact, we're ready.
Hey, are we ready to go?
Yep, you're ready.
Thank you very much. Good evening, board members. Good evening, Dr. Lyons. Nice to be with all of you, and we appreciate giving us some time to update you on the strategic planning process. I've some of my colleagues with me, but in the interest of time, we'll just charge into the presentation. Is that okay? Okay, great. What we'd like to do is, we do this in two parts. One is to update you on the process itself, and then second part will be to share with you what we call the work to date. And it's really that, just work to date. The process continues. And Kay, let me know when you can see my screen, please.
Yes, certainly, too.
Okay, great. This is a brief update about the process. You have this PowerPoint slide. I'm only going to highlight about 3 or 4 pages in the document that you have. And the one I want to start with is this diagram, which sort of captures our approach to why people plan. That the primary purpose of planning is alignment, getting all the arrows going in the same direction. And in our case, in our collective case, that direction is towards better results more quickly for all students. So if we want alignment, if you want people to be bought in, we have to involve them in developing the plan. So our process invites all stakeholders within the community to participate, and it gives them multiple opportunities to participate also. It's not uncommon for one person to be on the core planning team and have 4.5 days of interaction with the process. The same person could be a parent and come to the parent meeting. The same person could be a leader in the community and be part of the alignment team. To date, since we started, we've held 8 KDD change. We've had 18 convenings. The first column shows the different configurations. Student voice team, we've met with them once. We're going to see them again in about 3 weeks. The core planning team is the most diverse of all the teams. They've met for 3.5 days already. All told, 18 meetings, from as short as 90 minutes to as long as full day. We have about 20 more meetings scheduled, and the process, again, invites everyone to have multiple opportunities to take a bite of the apple, so to speak. When we're done, what we will have is a strategic plan that consists of 3 main parts. Part 1 will be about what we want for students, so it's about student learning. Part 2 will be about instruction, the strongest driver of student learning. Part 3 will be about how we're going to support instruction so that all students can learn more quickly. So circle number 1, about kids. Circle number 2, about teachers and teaching. Circle number 3 is infrastructure that will make circle 2 and circle 3 effective. So what's highlighted in blue field are the areas that are substantively completed. Nothing is finalized until the final document is signed off by the superintendent and it comes to the board. So I want to give you just a preview of the draft document, the draft work so far. And for that, I'm going to switch to another handout that you have. That has a cover page that looks like this. So the first part of the strategic plan is to articulate what we call the promise, our promise collectively to all students. And it should be very pithy statement, no more than 15 to 20 words. And it also capture what really matters most to us relative to success for all of our students. After about 2.5 months of this exercise, we're down to 3 drafts that made a cut. So option A, option B, option C are still in play at this point. They're the most preferred by the majority of the participants. So that's the promise. After the promise, we'll define what's our vision for our graduates. We call it the portrait of a graduate. The community has defined 6 qualities, and each quality has some attributes. The qualities are the competencies they will gain. For example, critical thinking, academically prepared scholar, lifelong learner, and so on. The attributes are our best shot at how we would know our students are mastering those competencies. And again, this is the latest draft. There are several, in a few cases, there are some additional options that are not fully developed yet in the sense of reaching consensus. So we're taking this back we're back in town mid-April, and we're going to take it back to the teams to have them decide on which version they're going to go with. So on one page, we cut out the vision of what our students will know, be able to do, and be like by the time they graduate from our school system. So we start again with the promise, very broad. Then the portrait of a graduate is the next level. And then the third level will be our goals and measures. If our students are being as we envision in the portrait, how would we know? So we've defined 4 goals. The 4 goals sort of tell a story. Goal number 1, basically says give them a strong start. Actually, we have 5 goals. Goal number 1 says give them a strong start. Goal number 5 is about a strong finish. Then we have 1 academic goal, that's goal number 4. 1 attendance goal, and 1 goal that's about social and emotional development. So that's the story that the 5 goals tell. Strong start for our youngest children, strong finish for our graduates, and then in between those 2 bookends, we have strong academics, strong attendance, and strong social and emotional development. And each one of these goals has some measures. We highly recommend that we restrict the measures to no more than 2 per goal. That will give us, as a district, 10 measures that will track in our dashboard. Yet to be finalized is the final draft of the equity commitment that we're making for each one of these goals. So again, vision, I'm drawing a blank.
The promise.
Thank you, the promise. I need to start with a P. The promise, then portrait, and then the goals and measures. Those 3 pretty much nail down what we want for students. Then the next step is to frame what must we do well as adults, what capacities must we develop internally so that our students can be successful. So everything I've said up to this point is about what we want for students. From this point forward, we talk about what the adults have to do and be like so that students can be successful. And we'll frame what the adults have to do around what we call 4 pillars. We ask you to imagine that we have to build a house to support our students, and a house can be built on 4 foundations or 4 pillars. Foundation number 1 is about teaching and learning. Foundation number 2 recognizes that schools can't do it alone. Foundation number 3 is about making sure our people are the best they could be by investing in their development. And foundation number 4, pillar D, will be how we make sure all the pieces work together. So first part of my presentation is all about the kids. From this point forward, it's about the adults. And each one of these foundations has been named by the participants so far. So for teaching and learning, we will be about standards aligned and culturally responsive teaching and learning. For schools can't do it alone, we'll be about relationships with parents and community and having a systems of intervention and support. For foundation number 3, C, is effective teacher for every student, effective leader for every school. And finally, the way we'll make sure all the pieces come together is by developing a culture of excellence and accountability. Each of these will be flushed out in the next few weeks with specific strategies and milestones and targets. So that's why the work stands at this point. I'm going to close by bringing us back to the circle. So circle number 1 is pretty much done. Almost all the pieces are in place. Foundation number 2 is very well on the way. The one in blue is the part I went to the leader. But before we came to the district, the superintendent and our staff already have a curriculum audit from which a lot of information can be gathered about foundation number 2. And then we will lead the discussion on foundation number 3. So that's a quick overview of the process today. I'm more than happy to get your feedback or take your questions. Thank you.
Any questions? Okay, thank you very much.
No questions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Have a nice evening.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Gonzalez.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. All right, we're ready for finance.
Well, good evening. Good evening. I'm just going to briefly run through the financial report. I'm sounding like a broken record with this. It's been very consistent throughout the year. In fact, I'm going to skip the first slide. And basically, we're just going to look at the little meters here for revenue and expenses. We're about at that 3/4 mark, and that's exactly where we should be for revenue, and our expenses are trailing that, which is a good thing. If that continues, that means our budget will come out looking a little bit better than we thought it was at the beginning. We still had a lot of work to do, but some of that work got done during the year. And the one point that I want to make about our budget, I know we're going through a lot of adjustments right now, and I know that's kind of an odd word for it, but it's a reinvention of a district that not only lives within its means, but provides even stronger product. And that's what we're trying to build here. And when I get to the next part of my presentation, I want to make clear that's also what we're trying to do there. So everything we're talking about is growth and a change that causes a little pain, but then we get through it and we come out better on the other side. So the fund balance, as you can see, we've raised our fund balances some over the course of this year, which we know we needed to do. At the bottom left, it's our current year-to-date revenues over expenditures have increased by this time last year by about 1.7 million. So that's a good mark. Our cash flow is following along just as it should throughout the year. Our revenues are a little higher. Our expenditures are a little lower than last year. And then finally at the end, this is just kind of our snapshot of where we are. And keep in mind the numbers you're seeing there are not, the ending balance is not the amount of money in the bank. That is the amount of money on paper. The amount of money in the bank is the amount of money in the bank. But just like everything else, there's value in here that is not cash. So that's the financial report for this month. Are there any questions for that?
Any questions regarding that part of the report? Okay.
Okay, it seems like the only time I give extended reports is when I'm sounding like Eeyore and I'm bringing in bad news and things that have happened. But, in this particular case, this is something that has affected the entire community, and the school district is no different. We've had some extensive storm damage throughout the district. We thought we escaped the tornado, but then we got to the Aroma Park site and realized that, we had some tornado damage there. I'm going to go through just a high level right now. On Thursday night, we've cleared the finance agenda, and this is the topic. And we're going to talk about, at a lot greater detail, specifically what happened at each site and what our intent is to try to get that straightened out. Several buildings were extensively damaged. Probably the worst, depending on how you look at it, is the high school. The building itself, you drive by, it looks fine. But that roof, the entire roof, is almost destroyed. It's just thousands and thousands of holes from the hail. And it was almost literally raining inside the building on the Wednesday morning after the storm. The main gym is closed because the floor has warped. We're going to have to replace the gym floor. The turf room is closed. We're not sure if we're going to have to replace the turf floor. Okay. There's other things in the building affected by that. I'll get into that more on Thursday. The junior high, Taft, Kennedy, Avis, Huff, they all have extensive roof damage, some damage inside the building, Avis Huff had some skylights, Kennedy had some windows that were broken, things like that. Aroma Park probably ties with the high school for severity. The gym roof, a big part of that was laying in the yard next door. There's a lot of hail damage, and because of the way in which the roof was taken off the building, there could be structural damage in the gymnasium. So we have an engineer coming out to take a look at that. I know we've heard that before in another site, but we're hopefully going to be able to take care of this one a little bit easier. So moderate damage, it's mainly roof damage at Mark Twain, Steuben, and Pregler, and interior, not much damage in those sites. Little to no damage. LCC is the exception there. There's a little bit of damage in the stage area because of a window that did break, but otherwise it's in good shape. King is in good shape, and ironically so is Edison. No storm damage. Okay. I'm glad we all find the humor in that. So. We haven't really done a lot of work at Meadowview. We don't have any programs there. We just kind of made a quick check. It looked good. We're kind of hoping that it's, that our stuff isn't damaged in there, but right now our priorities are elsewhere. Transportation Center has a little bit of leaking in the garage space. I'm sure there's some roof work that needs to be done, and we'll get that sorted out with the owner of the property. So that's the building damage. Let's talk about our vehicles. Anybody who has a car in Kankakee or Aroma Park knows they didn't fare too well, and neither did ours. The only things that didn't get damaged were most of our maintenance vehicles were in the maintenance shop, so they were protected. So all of our driver ed vehicles, our security vehicles are most likely totaled. They haven't been totaled yet, but we're pretty confident. Most of our 15-passenger vans were extensively damaged. Some of them will likely be totaled. We had one maintenance truck with some damage. You can see a couple vans that were damaged, a couple specialty vans. The Suburban was significantly damaged. Our buses were significantly damaged, but we were able to put enough back together to make routes run. That doesn't mean some won't still be totaled, and that we won't have, but there's a lot of work to do. The biggest issue besides broken glass on the buses is they all have escape hatches in the top. So if there's a rollover, you can get out through the top. Those are cracked or have holes in them, and of course, if there's rain, then that gets in the bus. So we had to replace some of those right away. You can see the kind of damage we have. It's basically nothing escaped the hail. The hail seemed to bounce up and hit under some things too. So it was really ugly there. Some things you don't think about that we're still inspecting for damage. The turf on the football field, our outdoor track, the bleachers, press box, outdoor lights, all of the outdoor equipment at all the buildings, our sheds, concession stands, any of those things, even our new outdoor fitness center, we're checking it out. We're feeling like things are pretty good, but there is some damage, and some of that will likely have to be fixed or replaced. So where are we with this? We've really been popular with our insurance company. That's where we are right now. They've been sending adjusters out. The adjuster finished with the vehicles last week. I think they finished with the buildings this week, today? Okay. So they're going to report back to the insurance company. We're pretty confident most of, what did we say, 7? 9 of the roofs are probably total loss. Now, we're going to have to prioritize replacements on that because there's no way we're getting all that done at once, even if we have all the money in the world. So they're going to evaluate, they're going to make determinations if need be. Well, we're also going to submit our information for disaster assistance, whether or not we apply, because that does also go toward the total for the area. And we want to make sure if the area needs disaster assistance, we do our part to get that. Some items are also life safety, which can have special funding provisions if they're not covered by insurance. So at this time, we don't have any answers for how we're fixing all this, but we are confident we're going to get it all fixed, and we'll have our schools back better than they were before. So that's where we are right now. Any questions on that? I would ask now, but it's probably best just bring them on Thursday because we're going to have pictures. You're going to see a picture of me on a roof, which you're never going to believe that would have happened. And it'll just be an extravaganza, so come on Thursday.
All right, thank you very much.
The last two things, we just have a couple agenda items. I don't know, the first one is E-rate. It's every year. I don't think we really need to discuss that, just need to approve that. And the second one, I don't know, you want to discuss that now, or you want to wait until?
No, you go ahead.
You want to go ahead? Okay. So the second one is the St. Mary's Hospital was purchased by
Prime Healthcare.
Prime Healthcare. Thank you. Lost my nouns. Prime Healthcare, and it's right there on the screen. That's nice. And so what we have to do now is, because it has been a not-for-profit property, all their properties, we now have to get it assessed and get it on the property tax rolls. And the county assessor has asked all the taxing districts to share in the cost of that because it's a specialized assessment. And so we're asking the board to approve that. Their Prime Healthcare has not applied for not-for-profit designation or status yet. They could. So even if we appraise this and put them on the rolls and they pay taxes, they could come back later and say they're not-for-profit, and we could potentially have to give back any taxes that they pay. So that is the one risk we have. But the flip side of that is they also have to prove they're not-for-profit, and so far they haven't really behaved that way yet. So we're just asking for you to approve this first step in the process, and then we take it from there.
Okay. Any questions? Nope. You're good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Mr. Neal.
All right, good evening, Board of Education, Dr. Ladd. I bring you the People Services Department update. And today we will discuss investigations, FMLA, EFMLA, workers' compensation, results of our teacher licensure audit, connecting with people services, human capital analytics, district staffing review, our New Beginnings job fair, and vacancies. So let's get to it. All right. Investigations. To date, we have had about 115 investigations in the People Services Department and counting. EFMLA.
Before you leave that, investigations involve complaints made by an employee
Yes.
or against an employee, correct?
Yes.
And we have to investigate that to document what we can find out about that complaint.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
FMLA, EFMLA. So currently, our FMLA process is all paper-based and handled inside the People Services Department. EFMLA is a process in which makes our FMLA process electronic and easy to access for our employees to communicate back and forth with their medical providers and the district to document their FMLA and the time spent on their FMLA. Currently, to date, we've had 70 total requests for FMLA. 40 of them have been closed. We have 26 that are active, 8 that are consecutive, 8 that are intermittent FMLAs, 2 leave of absences, and then 2 that are upcoming. So that's our current FMLA status, and EFMLA will help us to manage those times and the process for those members that are out on FMLA. All right, workers' compensation. Workers' compensations, to date, we have 6 individuals, 6 staff that have restrictions on workers' compensation. 9 are out on workers' comp currently. 8 are receiving TTD benefits, and 1 who is not receiving any benefits. Recently, we underwent a professional educator licensure audit, and this audit was to assess all of the individual licensures of our teachers in our district. To date, we discovered that about 33 of our staff, of our teachers, licenses are set to expire June 30th of 2026. This process helped us to really see where everyone was so that we can ensure staffing for the upcoming school year. Connecting with people services. So we have gone around to the individual schools and taken people services to the people. And today, actually, we're over at Twain Primary School where we welcome the staff there. was a wonderful opportunity. We have 3 other sites to visit. Next is Avis Huff. We also have Prageler and the Transportation Department. And so those sites, our dates are a little bit off due to the storm, but those are our next sites to visit. Human capital analytics. So we have launched a stronger partnership with Frontline, where we have several Frontline products. We have Absence Manager, Professional Growth. We have a few other products with Frontline, but human capital analytics helps us to lift the data from our products to be able to get insights or gain insights around our employee management. And so we are now live with human capital analytics, and it helps us to be able to see certain patterns and trends in our data for our employees across the district. District staffing review. So after today, actually, we'll begin our district staffing review, where we'll work with our building leadership to determine placement for next year. New beginnings, career connections. And so the People Services Department is hosting a job fair where we are partnering with our community agencies across the city and the state, where we'll have various employers provide opportunities for those in our community, our school community, to be able to find new beginnings, new employments, to assist them to make those connections, because we believe that everyone deserves a new beginning and opportunity. So we want everybody to land on their feet. That is April 18th, yes, Saturday, April 18th, 9 a.m. to 12 noon. So if you are an employer to the greater community and you would like a table to be able to provide opportunities or to host a table at the job fair, please reach out to myself or People Services, and we will assist you with getting set up with that. All right, here are our current vacancies in the district. Are there any questions?
Any questions from any board member? Hearing none, thank you.
Dr. Morgan Harris, do you want to clarify again, who is the New Beginnings Fair for?
Yes, so it is an opportunity for our employees that are have been recently riffed or released to provide them opportunities to find employment within the greater Kankakee community. We want everybody to, land on their feet, connect them with new opportunities.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, moving along to the principal's report. And I just was corrected. I said it's Kennedy, and then I realized Steuben and Kennedy are sort of together these days.
Yes, so Principal Goldenstein was slated to present at the March, what board meeting was that? 9th?
10th. It was the 10th.
It was one of these days in March. And unfortunately, because of the storm, the tornado, she did not. So we got 2 school presentations. So Principal Goldenstein, you're up first.
Good evening, Superintendent Lance, members of the Board of Education, and community members. My name is Erin Goldenstein, and I am proud to serve as the principal of Kennedy Middle School. Our school community, hang on, I didn't practice this, so give me a second. Okay. Our school community is 464 students in 3rd through 8th grade, supported by 74 staff members. We are home to the college and career, dual language, and gifted programs, as well as the science and fine arts magnets. Our student population is 45.4% Black, 34% Hispanic, and 15.6% white. Furthermore, we are committed to supporting our 15.8% students with IEPs and our 26.3% who are English language learners. Looking at our baseline performance from the 2025 IAR assessment, our overall proficiency stood at 18.1 in ELA and 12.1 in math. We recognize that these numbers are our starting point for the growth that we must achieve. Attendance remains a critical focus. At the time of this state reporting, our chronic absenteeism rate was 33.8%. And just a refresher, chronic absenteeism is when students miss 10% or more of school days. Our 5 essential survey provides a clear roadmap for improvement. Research has shown that schools that score strongly on at least 3 of the 5 essentials are 10 times more likely to improve student outcomes. This is the data from last school year and has provided the Kennedy team with some key areas of improvement, including effective leaders, collaborative teachers, and involved families. Currently, Kennedy Middle School has an overall index score of 37.36%, placing us in the comprehensive support category. ELA and math proficiency and chronic absenteeism are the areas that we have identified to guide our next steps. As you can see, we met the criteria for achieving a full score for the climate survey, which is the previously mentioned 5 essentials. Moving forward, Kennedy will focus on strengthening key systems that support student success. This includes deepening the implementation of capturing kids' hearts across our campus, strengthening the PLC process, which is teacher collaboration, and that includes deeper data dives and immediate action plans for implementation. Also, improving Tier 1 instruction through intentional coaching cycles. We also are intending and have reached out to launch a parental advisory group to increase stakeholder involvement in our school improvement efforts while continuing to closely monitor academic, behavior, and attendance data to ensure that our students are receiving the interventions and the support that they need. Our school improvement plan for this year is focusing on results. We aim to improve student achievement in math and reading by achieving a minimum growth rating of 0.2 or higher on the STAR 360 assessment and exceeding state proficiency benchmarks. Additionally, we have also set a high bar for attendance, aiming for 95% or better. Our target is to reduce chronic absenteeism, defined as students missing more than 10% of school days, to less than 20% of our student body. This year, we have set some instructional absolutes to help us achieve our goals. These include real-time checks for understanding, targeted scaffolds to maintain grade-level rigor, and embedding academic discussions so that every student is an active participant in their learning. Additionally, we have implemented operational absolutes. We know that consistency is key to a productive environment. Our operational absolutes include standardized building procedures, the use of social contracts through Capturing Kids' Hearts training, and you can see an example there, and establish behavioral expectations that are constantly reinforced by staff. So let's take a look at our current data. Our most recent winter 2025-2026 data shows that overall, we have a large percentage of our students who are in the green, meaning that they are showing the expected growth on the STAR reading and math assessment. Regarding our attendance goal, our current chronically absent rate is 27%, representing 123 of our 464 students. While this is an improvement from our previous state-reported 33.8, we are working to get it to below 25% by the end of the year and 20% or less by the end of next year. So here is what we've implemented. We are driving these improvements through several key initiatives, including capturing kids' hearts, bi-weekly SEL focuses, and quarterly family events. We've also launched school-wide incentives like our popular Attend Dance parties to celebrate and encourage consistent attendance. Additionally, we have recently began focusing on intentional efforts on our chronically absent students by meeting with families, identifying factors impacting attendance, and creating individualized plans to address those barriers. This year, our theme is the magical yet. This theme was chosen to help our students build a growth mindset across the school and reinforce the belief that students and staff can improve with effort, support, and persistence. It emphasizes that while we may not be there where we want to be yet, growth is always possible. Using the magical yet, we are encouraging students to stay motivated through challenges and reinforce the message that learning and improvement are an ongoing process for everyone, staff included, in the Kennedy community. And board members, each of you have the Magical Yet book as a gift from Kennedy staff and students.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Some highlights from this year. We have some instruction happening with one of our international teachers. She is working, our students were reading and responding to the text in this picture and this picture. We also have hosted some assemblies, and this is our winter assembly. This is our basketball team who won the King Kennedy tournament. Sorry, Miss Jackson, wherever you are, yes. The trophy is now where it belongs. And here's just a quick video to show some of the amazing things that are happening. There's sound. Every classroom hosts a morning meeting in our building, and so this is one of our morning meetings where they were celebrating one of their students for winning a kindness award.
There was sound earlier, there's no
I know,
sound.
I don't know.
Keith, no sound?
There is sound. I didn't know there was sound in this. The sound was muted
Well, just trust us, it's good. Thank you. That's okay, Keith. I'll send it to the board.
In closing, I want to thank Dr. Lance, the board, our hardworking staff, the amazing assistant principals, Mr. Mobley and Ms. Steele, our families, and the entire community for your support of Kennedy Middle School. With your support and belief in the power of yet, we can ensure that all students at Kennedy get the high-quality education that they deserve. Any questions?
Nope.
Somebody who exemplifies kindness in the classroom and helps
What was the
others.
question?
I don't know.
What was the question?
He asked me what the kindness award was that the student received.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
We'll give you time. You'll have to run.
Okay. Good evening, Dr. Lance, Board of Education, KSD 111 family, community members, and of course, I have to stop and recognize my teammates, Steuben Elementary School. Come on, let them know we're in the house. Stand up. Stand up so we can recognize you, Steuben. We're a loud bunch, but we're a great bunch. Thank you to everyone. As you know, working on a Monday requires extra energy, so I thank all of you for coming out so we can recognize and celebrate you tonight. I am Ms. Joya Crosley, the proud principal here at Steuben Elementary. I am also proud. I have a teammate this year, a wonderful teammate, and Mr. Scott Foreman, my assistant principal. If he can stand, please. And as you all know, we are a multilingual learning building. So, mi nombre es señora Joya Crowley. Soy la orgullosa directora de la Escuela Primaria para Estudiantes. A lot of my teachers are my estudiantes, so if you guys are staying up past your bedtime, clearly I need more lessons. All right, so let's get started. Steuben, who are the Steuben rock stars? So we have 303 students. As you all know, with the closing of Edison in January, we gained 81 amazing students, along with several new K-2 Edison staff, along with our population, our student population growing, our administrative staff grew. So Mr. Kel Kuster is also part of our support here as well. So thank you for your collaboration. We have 18 amazing educators, including our special teachers, and a host of support staff, including our food service team, paraprofessionals, social workers, SEL team. I don't want to forget anyone, that's why I'm not naming names, because you all know I love you too much to try to name names. But I thank each and every one of you who come in here every day. You give 100% to our students, and you make Steuben a very special place. So thank you. We have 2 up-and-coming teachers we're hoping who will be joining the KSD family. Ms. Brisas, in kindergarten, along with Ms. Campos in 2nd grade. We are so excited and blessed to continue our partnership with Gardner Prayer Mentors. They come in here every day. They are a part of our student community. Without them, it doesn't happen. So if our Gardner Prayer Mentors are watching and our foster grandparents, we thank you for your collaboration. Last week, we celebrated Granny Posen's 90th birthday. 90th birthday. I think Granny Posen moves better than me. So we are just, again, so gracious and thankful to have her. Our magnet programs here, we have the Math Incorporated, we have our bilingual magnet, and with the addition of Edison, we now also offer engineering magnet. Community learning partners. So we know it takes a village, and this is Steuben's village. We have Gardner Prayer. Books with Ballers is a new program that was started this year with the partnership with Kankakee High School Athletics. It was a highlight to have them come in and show their leadership skills. We look forward to them returning in the spring. We have a partnership with Walmart, Alderman Dave Barron and Michael O'Brien. Caption Kids Hearts is also a district-wide partnership that we have this year. We are in a coaching cycle, learning cycles with Dr. Nicole Law through Visible Learning, as well as Court Street Forward. Our student demographics, who are the Steuben rock stars? So we have about 60 African-American students, 202 Hispanic students, and 12 white students, and 2 or more identify as biracial. 10.5% of our students have IEPs, which is slightly lower than the district and the state. Next is as I believe Ms. Way spoke earlier about our goals. They are district aligned. In addition to our ELA and our attendance goal, as you can see, last year we celebrated a huge progress in making our overall index score being 38.71, which increased us to be commendable. So again, I want to highlight the hard work of the students, the former administrative team, and all of our parents for your support. We are not finished, we are not where we want to be, but we are certainly making progress. So please continue to support us and encourage us, and we hope next year when we return, we'll have even higher growth. Some of our star winter benchmark academic growth, like I stated, we are not where we would like to be. We did not see the growth that we would have liked to see, but I do want to highlight some areas in our fall to winter benchmark. 45.4% of our students scored made typical or better growth than expected for the winter benchmark. I want to highlight our 2nd grade team who saw 43.1% growth. Our 3rd grade team saw 46.7% growth in reading. In regards to math overall, we saw 56.3% growth, with kindergarten leading the way. Do I have any of my kindergarten team here? Look at Ms. Guzman. Shout out to Ms. Guzman. with 93.3% growth. So again, we are striving. First grade, 55.6%. Second grade made 50% growth. In third grade, 52.2% growth. Again, to the Board of Education, parents, community members, we understand that there is a need for us to make that growth. We are putting things in place so we can meet those expectations for not only our community, but for our students. Positive attendance. Currently, we are at 90.5%. Our goal is to make it to 95%. We currently have 9.5% of our students who are chronically absent. I want to recognize the efforts of our attendance champion teams that is spearheaded by Mr. Foreman. Our attendance champion team, we took our chronic absentee students and each were assigned a daily champion. This is an adult that meets with them daily, goes over an attendance goal. We do home visits. I do want to recognize in her absence Mrs. Barnetta Harris, who spearheads this along with us to support us. Each student has a goal, a weekly goal. We have an attendance, I call it a treasure box, where they get to pick out different things. We are proud to say that since we started this initiative, our chronic absentee students have decreased by 50%. We also host a monthly class competition for each class, and the class that has the highest percentage wins a monthly party.
Oh, that's all right.
We love having fun here. If you were not able to attend our Black History program, you missed a show. Don't miss it next year. It was standing room only, but this is just a few highlights of the events we have here. It's not too late to join us for, in April, we are having STEM Week, which is a concentration on science, technology, and engineering and mathematics. One of our partners is Curiosity Cube. It is a mobile science lab, so they'll be here on campus. The students and the staff, we love it. They dress up as scientists. They have a focus that they work on. And what I love most and appreciate about it is the people who host it are local engineers. And they come into the building, they do experiments, kids get to take home lab coats and glasses. So any of my colleagues out there that looking for some things to do, please bring curiosity to your campus. It is an amazing experience for students. In addition to that, Spring Family Night is coming up in April. We are excited with the addition of our engineering magnet. We'll be offering engineering activities that night as well. In May, we are having our first sneaker ball, so we are excited. Parents, go out and grab the sneakers, come on out, have a great time with your child. We love ending the year on our Picnic on the Lawn event in May, where families come in and they have lunch with their students. We put the music on, we're playing games. It's like a block party, so we invite the community to come out and support and celebrate. So with that, we're having March Madness here at Steuben that is aligned to our district-wide academic priorities. So again, before we play the video, I want to highlight and thank everyone for their participation. I did not know we had so many aspiring actors and actresses here in the building. But it made for a fun day here at Steuben. So without further ado, let's get into March Madness.
Welcome to March Madness Steuben. This campus runs the important volunteer classes. The table what I say is for the ultimate game, academic success.
All right, team, listen up. If students don't know what they're learning, then we've already lost the game. We can't afford to lose this game.
Okay, clearly our MVP. Show it clearly.
Everything is 6, 7 times.
And that's how we win as a Steuben Rockstar. So we look forward to returning here next year to show the progress and growth. Again, we look forward to all of our community partners, and I just want to recognize and acknowledge my team again. Thank you. I am so blessed to work with so many amazing, amazing educators. Thank you, and any questions for me? Any pregunta?
I don't have a question.
Yes.
You have a wonderful presentation, but I do want to thank you, and I appreciate that you are really making the students feel like we want them here and that sense of belonging by that individualization with those chronic students. So thank you for that, and I appreciate that and giving them that sense of welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, we have one public comment, but first I'm going to, on a point of personal privilege, I'm going to ask Ms. Verrett, she had some comments, if she'd like to, and then I follow up with that.
So as many of you may or may not know, I live in the area that was affected by the tornado.
Tracy, I can't, pull it towards you.
How's that?
That's a lot better.
All right. So as many of you may or may not know, I live in the area that was affected by the tornado. And so although my house is still standing, thank God, it is pretty devastating to ride around and see my neighbors who have lost so much. So first I want to thank everybody for their prayers, the calls, the text messages, the inboxes. My phone died and I didn't have power to turn it back on because people were worried and checking. So I really appreciate that. I was here during the storm. I was here under extreme duress at the board meeting that night. But we had to shelter in place. And so I couldn't really see what was going on at home. I was just getting phone calls about how bad it was. So I just want to thank everybody for their prayers and their concern. I want to thank my board members, Mr. Bolin, who checked on me, Ms. Yancey, who offered to cook for me, Ms. Baronas, who offered to clean for me, which I respectfully declined because I have extreme OCD, and I told her it would not be fun. And Tamika Crutcher, who made me a cake. She just called me and said she wanted to make a cake. That's her love language, and it was really good, so I appreciate that. And then I want to thank the school district for all their efforts that they put into place for donations for the families. So many people lost absolutely everything. So thank you for the school district for doing that, as well as coming to my home. Although I wasn't looking for anything, Dr. Lance, Mr. Hunt, and Mr. Tucker knocked on my door to bring me items. So I really appreciate that. And just continue to pray for people out there. It really is bad. People, when you ride out there, the pictures don't do it justice. It looks like a war zone. So it's pretty bad. People have lost absolutely everything. One of my neighbors, well, she's actually my yard man, his insurance company told him just to walk away. They had to tear everything down. So it's a lot of devastation, a lot of loss. But thankfully, like I said, my house just has some cosmetic damage. I can put up with that. I'm thankful. But again, thank you for all your prayers and the school district's efforts to help everyone in the area.
Thank you. You know, it's amazing that sometimes it takes a disaster to show what the guts of a community are. And that's what we saw in our last week. Yeah, Tuesday night of the event of the, you all right? I don't need two. All right, let's try that. Is that better?
Yes.
All right. The Tuesday night of the event, we were at the junior high having a school board meeting. Some people said, why didn't you leave? We had business that had to be done that night. And I apologize for those who couldn't be at that meeting. I'm glad you weren't at the meeting. We did it with lights from our phones. There was no electricity. It sounded like bowling balls were hitting the roof of the building, and it turns out they were because the damage that was done. But the aftermath of that was to see a community pull together like nothing can describe. I can't describe it, you can't describe it, but the spirit of this community was amazing. But we didn't limit it to here, and I'll get back to the school district and what we did in this did. I want to read to you the people who brought us things. And this is not an exclusive list. There are many more that are not included here, and I apologize. I have the best list I could have. I got it from Rachel, so that's as good as I can get it. But we received donations from Rise and Thrive Wellness, Court Street Ford, the Convoy of Hope truck when that arrived. That was as jammed of a trailer as you could find with donations. Franzak Law Firm, Georgie's Closet, Stafari West Avenue, New Faith Baptist Church, the National Guard, the First Assembly of God, Aqua of Kankakee, and I will vouch for Aqua. I called them, and the answer was, I got the number from Mayor Curtis. I called them, and he said, I knew you were going to call. How many pallets of water do you need? And when I said, I don't know, he said, let's send you 4 pallets. That was 300 cases. And he said, can you have a way to unload it? And I said, no. He said, we'll send our fork truck with it. They, I think, doubled down, or at least maybe tripled down on that donation during the time that we were giving away water. City of Kankakee was amazing. But the community was much broader than that, and this is what I think was amazing to me. Rich Township High School sent kids and a truck load of stuff. Southland College Prep sent donations. Peoria Public Schools sent us donations. Crete-Monee High School Athletics. District 300, which is the community unit school district in Algonquin, sent donations. North Shore District 112 sent donations. Elgin School District U46 sent donations. Matson and Districts 159 and 162, and Park Forest and University Heights District 163 school districts sending us donations. We were at an event, Ms. Lopez and I were at an event, and Dr. Brass, at an event Thursday night where they had a very large number of Southland schools, and when they got to us, they stopped and prayed. So it's quite touching, it's quite moving, and so much needed. But I don't want to stop there, because I was here a couple of the nights that we gave away, and what I saw was first Dr. Lance telling me what to do. Grab that bag and pack it, she would say. The Telemundo came down for an interview, and she told the guy with the microphone, put down that microphone, you can pack bags just like we can. And he did, and he did. But you were amazing. Your organization of this event, of this giving, was amazing. I want to thank the cabinet. I know they were involved, the principals, the administration. But more important, there were students that I was packing with, there were teachers that I was packing with, and there were people just from the community. And the truly touching thing was some of them were were coming from terribly damaged houses. I see Chef Dina in the back. Your food truck's parked outside my office. I don't know if that's a message to me. But I went over and I just said thanks, because there weren't a huge number of kids that took advantage of it, but here's breakfast and lunch that the school district was able to provide. And perhaps the most touching, Dr. Lance, one of the nights, and I don't remember whether it was Thursday or Friday, that we were working together, and you said you have to go into the cafeteria, and I said, I'm not eating, I'm not going to the cafeteria. And once again, she told me what to do. She said, go into the cafeteria. So I did. And here was a family of sitting at a round table, and the mother of the family was visibly emotionally upset. I walked over and I said, tell me, what can we do? And she said, you don't know what you've just done. She said, the last 2 nights we've eaten, all of our meals have been McDonald's or Wendy's. This is the first time we've been able to sit as a group and just reconnoiter, figure out what's gone on. And it was as touching and meaningful, and she said, you guys have provided this. Now, Grace Baptist Academy did exactly the same. Grace Baptist Church was terrifically involved as a partner in this, and maybe they were the leaders, I'm not sure. Doesn't matter who led and who followed. But to this community, I say, job well done. You represented an incredible crisis, and we responded. There's so much to be done yet. You can't drive out that direction, and I've only had the stomach to go out there one time. Had two on a mission, but it's the devastation of the loss of all the people who are still looking and rebuilding or thinking about rebuilding and what. And finally, I want to thank Mr. Draper. You've had one hell of a good experience. I went out with Mr. Draper the night of the event to go look at our buses. I didn't see any damaged buses. I don't know where those came from, but I did see every van without a windshield that was sitting there, and I knew that this was pretty serious. And then you left to go start assessing buildings, and you've been working and assessing, but you and your staff and maintenance staff have been incredible. You got us back in all the buildings but one very quickly, and tomorrow's the big day, right? We get back in the high school. So we got a long ways to go, a lot of rebuilding to do.